Welcome to On the Other Hand. I'm Ariane Zersher, and today I'm going to be demonstrating the running stitch and the back stitch and all of their various variations. So that will include threaded, whipped, double threaded, etc. These are two of the basic foundation stitches, many of which are used to begin another stitch, particularly the back stitch. So they're really important stitches to know how to do. So I hope you'll stick with me. Don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe. If you want to receive an email notification as well, you have to click on the little bell icon to the right of the subscribe button. Grab something to stitch with, grab a needle and some thread, and let's stitch together. I'm going to do a running stitch around each of these circles. I'm just going to show you a couple of examples of how I've used it in other pieces. It's just one of those great basic stitches. So here I used it in a variegated eleganza thread just to kind of accent the change in colors of the wool. Over here, I used it in a green to kind of echo the leaf. I think it's just so pretty. And then I did it again on the inside of the cotton print applique fabric. I did a pink to just give a little something else. That's my tête de boeuf here. I have it in this is a painter's soft cotton. I did bits of running stitch here. I used it in a silken pearl here. I emphasized this vase with little, just the same color as the stem, just to give it a little accent. With this vase, I did it in a variegated eleganza. This is a Londonderry linen thread. I love this thread. With this, I'm going to try to thread a number 24 chenille. Let's see how that works. So there's that. I'm going to do my quilter's knot. I'm going to go right here on the line of the polka dot where the color changes. I put my needle down and I want to come up about the same length as the stitch itself. It doesn't really matter if it's not exact, but I'd like to keep it somewhat uniform. I can do them much closer together if I feel like it. For a circle like this, I don't do more than a few at a time. For those of you who are sashiko fans, you know all about the running stitch, and there's even a little thimble for sashiko that you put here, and I have it, and I haven't figured out how to use it. When I do, I'll do a video on that. People who do sashiko who have been doing it for a long time are really, really fast. I am obviously not one of those people, but sashiko is basically a running stitch. I mean, that's really what it is. I'm going to show you now a threaded running stitch. For the threaded running stitch, I've threaded up a tapestry needle. This is a number 24 tapestry needle. I'm going to come up on my stitch. I can go below too, but then if I go below, I'm going to weave this way. This way, I'm coming this way. And I'm going to put my needle just under this stitch. And then I'm going to come up this way. And then I'm going to go down on this one. And it's just, that's how you're doing it. You're just weaving in and out. So that's threaded. Now if I want to do a double threaded, I can anchor my thread and then come back and do the opposite, which means I'm going to come up through here. Go down through this one. Up through this one. Down, up, down, and then anchor it back over here. And what I get is this kind of chain look, which is really pretty. Instead of going this way, which is the threaded, I'm going to whip it this way. So I'm going to go into my stitch. So there's my stitch, and I'm going to go in like this. And then instead of going down, I'm going to come around, and it's going to get whipped. And there's my whipped going across. Running stitch, double threaded, and that's whipped. They're all quite different and really lovely. Next up, we're going to do the back stitch, another one of those very versatile stitches. I'm going to do a back stitch around the base here of my little vase. I'm going to start right here at my corner and take a stitch, and then I'm going to go out. I'm going to come back, and this is the back stitch part. I'm going to come back, and then I'm going to go out. So the trick with the back stitch is just keeping these stitches sort of uniform and not getting one really big and one really small. But like everything, this work is so forgiving. It doesn't really make a big difference if it's subtly off. So I'm always going back 1, forward 2. So back 1, forward 2. The other thing you want to be aware of is your tension. You don't want to pull this so tightly that it's going to start bunching. So you want to keep it fairly relaxed. Another thing that I'm doing is I am not doing my back stitch into the wool applique. I'm doing the back stitch right against the edge where the applique meets the background. That's something someone asked. They weren't sure where the back stitch went, and it should be nestled right where the applique meets the background. Come up around my corner here now. So 1 step back, 2 forward, 1 back, and there's my back stitch. Whipped back stitch, I'm going to do that here, and I'm going to do it with a little sparkly thread. It's called Variegated Gold Rush, and I've threaded up a size 24 tapestry needle. I'm going to go ahead and I'm just going to start whipping it by going around each stitch. I'm coming up the same way. So I'm coming up instead of the threaded where I'm weaving it up and down. This one I'm going up through each of these back stitches. And it gives it a little corded look almost. And I'll anchor it. And there is my whipped back stitch. You can see the difference. There's the whipped running stitch, and here's the whipped back stitch. It's a tighter looking cord. Now up here, I'm going to do a threaded back stitch. It's the same concept as before with the running stitch. I come up, I'm going to go down, go up, go down, I can make these loops stand out by not pulling them snug. I can make them much looser. So it just gives it a little shimmery look to it. Now, if I want to do a double threaded, I'm just, instead of anchoring my stitch, I'm going to go back down through that stitch that I came up in before. And I'm going to repeat this going the other direction. I'm going to anchor it right back there. That's my double threaded back stitch. I hope you found this helpful and informative. Please don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe. If you want to get email notifications, you'll also need to hit the little bell icon to the right of the subscribe button. I love hearing from you, so leave me any comments or questions you might have in the comment section below. Don't forget to check out the description because I leave links to things. Here's to stitching together.